All right, YouTube, this Detroit's HPTV coming to you with another video. We got to talk about martial law in Washington, D.C. Now, you have the liberals, they're in uproar about martial law and the National Guard coming to D.C. Now, in D.C., they found out that the police force been playing with the numbers as it relates to crime, like they do in most liberal cities. They tell you crime is down, but the people in the community know that crime isn't down. Majority of the crimes don't even go reported. But if you live in Detroit, Chicago, Atlanta, California, or any of these major liberal cities, you will see that crime is terrible. These young people are destroying each other's lives daily. You know, last week in Detroit, you even had a 4-year-old get shot. Kids. So you look at your community, especially the black community, you cannot control your children. You cannot control your communities. And you need help. And you're not going to get it from the liberals saying defund the police. Our communities are crime-ridden. And these liberals have the nerve to fudge the numbers and tell you the crime is down. Even though you see daily people losing their lives, 2, 3 at a time, mass shootings in our community with the young people. Now, you don't want to say that it's because of the nuclear family's destruction that these children are out of control, but it is. It is. Single parent homes, no fathers in the homes to raise these young men, to teach these young men to value life, to respect other men and women, to respect life. Who's teaching them that while their mothers are at work? We know exactly who the National Guard will be patrolling. But let's look at this. What if they don't? What if they leave it the way it is, like the liberals and the Democrats did? Leave our communities unprotected while it disintegrates into chaos. While older people are scared to come out their homes, and young people, every day they leave out to go outside, they risk their lives. And it's that serious. A lot of parents have no control over their children. You've been seeing children take over cities, take over downtowns, take over streets, take over freeways, just out of order. So now they're on a head-on collision with the federal government and the National Guard. And you can't save them because you couldn't raise them and you couldn't teach them. So what makes you think you can save them? Now, if it's a lot of older people, they remember what martial law looks like from the 60s. Tanks in the street, National Guard in the street. But don't you think it's necessary? These young people have AK-47s, AR-15s, guns with switches on. When they shoot each other 20 and 15 times, emptying their clips into other children. How long will you let this stand before you admit that you need help in your own community? I know it's hard to admit that you can't handle your children, that you're scared of your children. And now you're scared for your children because they're coming under direct governmental scrutiny. But I want to show you 2 clips. And the first one, I want you to look and pay attention to what Jeanine Pirro says. And then I'm going to show you why they're outraged about the takeover of D.C., when in all actuality, Chicago and Detroit should be next. Then Maryland, and then other states where our communities are in total chaos, war zones. You got to say they like war zones because look at the weapons that these young people are using. Assault rifles, machine guns to shoot other children. And their parents and the community has no answer for it. So is this a case of where you guys are too proud to say you need help with your children in your community? But you are told a Democratic company line and act as if everything is okay. Everything is not okay. Let's watch this clip. This is for fair use in the 1976 Copyright Act for Education and Commentary. And I'm going to show you everything is not okay.
There's been a great deal of discussion about crime in the district. And the other day, I wanted to get a sense of what is actually happening in the District of Columbia. I asked for the number of teens who have been shot and killed by gunfire. Teens, everyone under the age of 20. As you can see, in 2024, we have, I believe I said it was, how many? Yeah. As you can see, in 2024, we have 29 individuals who were shot and killed in the district, all teens, some as young as 3 years of age, okay, because of gunfire.
Do you hear that? It was a 4-year-old last week in Detroit. Young as 3 years old. Babies.
Some of these cases are solved, some of them are not solved. But what this makes clear to me is that there is a whole community that is suffering because of the violent crime in this district. And anyone who wants to tell me the crime is down and that we don't need an emergency focus on crimes of violence, all they need to do is take a look at this and talk to the loved ones and the family members of these individuals, all shot and killed long before their time.
No card reader, no problem. Jim's got you covered. Accept any payment, debit, credit, Apple Pay, or digital wallet.
Now, over here are the individuals who were shot and killed under the age of 20, all teenagers in 2025. And the number here is 16. Again, all members of the minority community here. I don't know how many of these cases.
She's saying all members of the minority community. But really, I'm looking at the pictures. All members of the black community. Our community. These are kids. And you mean to tell me that we can let every summer lose this many children? And you don't see that you need help in your communities with crime? Your protesting, your marching is not working. Your churches are not working. The elders are not being listened to. Your children are on a head-on collision with the federal government and martial law because you can't control them. And that's the sad truth. You know you cannot control the young people in your communities. They've taken over. And they're destroying not only other young people their age, they're destroying babies, older people. And you still say you don't need help. You're still worried about racism. But is racism really what's destroying our communities? Or is it immorality? Is it liberalism? Where these children are coming from broken homes, broken families, oppression. and they don't see any way out, and you don't see any way out.
Have been solved, but what I can tell you is, again, it's guns on the streets. It's individuals who are not concerned about accountability, who don't have any reason to fear law enforcement. I am here today to tell you that on behalf of all of these victims, all of these families, that they're going to be accountable, that we are going to make a difference, and that we are going to make sure that law enforcement is focused on these innocent, now silent victims of crime in the district.
And I'm going to stop there because she made a good point. These young people that lose their lives and become victims, they have no voice in the community. What you have, balloon releases, T-shirts, shrines, but you still have no answer. But you reject help because it's coming from the conservatives. I've been telling you that martial law was coming. It was inevitable. When your children run around the community in skinny jeans, hoods, and masks, and it could be 100 degrees outside. These young people got on masks and hoods with weapons. And y'all was worried about ICE having on a mask? And you see these liberals still toe the company line. Crime is not dropped in D.C. In our communities, and I'm going to say black people, we know that D.C., Washington, D.C., has been off the chain, just like Detroit, just like Chicago, just like Baltimore, just like Philly, and every place else we live. How many children do you is a comfortable number what you lose in every summer? How many? 16, 29, 30, 50, 200. Your liberalism is destroying the youth, destroying the children, destroying ultimately your future. The liberals are still defending their stance on crime, ignoring the suffering and the pain of the people in the communities who are losing their young people to violence. You have to ask yourself, what is the Democratic agenda or the liberal agenda as it relates to your community if you know for a fact that your community is not safe? You know that crime is out of control in your community and no one is safe. Detroit and Chicago should be next with martial law. Don't you want to at least try to save some of your young people? The children are the future, right? These politics are getting dangerous, very dangerous. Because remember, I said to you a couple of weeks ago, your children and our communities are on a head-on collision with the federal government and the National Guard. What does that look like? What does that look like to you? Well, this is Detroit's HPTV coming to you out of Detroit. Like, share, and subscribe. Keep your head on the swivel, and as always, salute to all patriots. Peace.